This is for Algebra 2. This is day 2 of Exponential Rules. Remember, if you're multiplying, you're going to add the exponents. If you're dividing, you're going to subtract. Power to a power, you multiply. A negative exponent, you have to move it. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. So, looking at number 1, they've already done this for you. X to the 9th times x to the 7th. You add 9 plus 7 and you get x to the 16th. They came over here, found x to the 16th, and figured out it was L. X squared times x to the 10th. You're going to add your exponents, and 2 plus 10 is 12. So you're going to come over here, and you're going to find x to the 12th and put an h here. 2x to the 5th times 10x to the 11th. When you have coefficients, the coefficients do whatever the problem says. And so 2 times 10 is 20. And then your exponents, you say, I'm multiplying, so I'm going to add my exponents. So this would be 20x to the 16th. And so we would look over here, and it is a p. X to the 19th over x to the 6th, it's a division or a fraction, so you're going to subtract. And it becomes x to the 19 minus 6, which is 13. And x to the 13th is m. X to the negative 5 times x squared is going to give you x to the negative 3. We do not want an exponent, so it has to move to the bottom, and it becomes 1 over x to the 3rd, which is d. Seven has to actually be squared, and so that would be 49. X to the 8 times 2 is 16. So 49x to the 16th is s. You're going to want to do what's inside first, and so this is going to become 3 times 4 squared is 16. X to the 8 times 2 is 16. So then 3 times 16 is 48 x to the 16th, which is a. 14 over 2 reduces to 7. X to the 20th over x to the 4th, you're going to subtract, and you're going to end up with x to the 16th, which is e. X to the 3rd over x to the 4th. Okay, there's 2 ways you could do this. You could say 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and then realize you're going to have to move it, so it's 1 over x. The other way you can look at that is 4 is bigger than 3, and so your x goes where the largest exponent was. So I put the x in the bottom. 4 minus 3 is 1. Either way gets you to the same answer. I don't care which way you do that. 1 over x is w. So do your top first. I would do what's inside, and this becomes negative 5 plus 12. So this would be x to the 7th to the 3rd over x squared. So x to the 7th to the 3rd, you're going to multiply, and it becomes x to the 21 over x squared. And so now you're ready to subtract, and it becomes x to the 19th. X to the 19th is n. So do what's inside first. X to the 5th times x to the 8th gives you x to the 5 plus 8, which is 13. It's going to get squared over x squared to the 3rd. I'd go ahead and take care of that. 2 times 3 is 6. So on the top, you're going to say x to the 13 times 2, which is 26, over x to the 6th. You have a fraction, you're going to subtract, and you end up with x to the 20th, which is o. When you're adding them, you do nothing to your exponents. Okay? When you are adding or subtracting, you do nothing to the exponents. All you do is use it for like terms. These are all x to the 10th, so they're all like terms. This is like saying 1x to the 10th plus 1x to the 10th plus 1x to the 10th. Well, 1 plus 1 plus 1 gives you 3x to the 10th. Do not change your exponent. And so that is t. So go back up and look at your puzzle. Teacher, please, it's an emergency. Quick, I don't remember how to change the fraction 1/5 into a decimal. You've got to help me. Hurry. So now let's fill in based on what we found. Zoom out. And anywhere you see a 1, you put an L. They took care of that. Anywhere you see a 2, you put an H. There's a 2. Anywhere you see a 3, you put a P. Anywhere you see a 4, you put an M. Anywhere you see a 5, you're going to put a D. Anywhere you see a 6, you're going to put an S. Anywhere you see a 7, you're going to put an A. Anywhere you see an 8, you're going to put an E. Anywhere you see a 9, you're going to put a W. Anywhere you see a 10, you're going to put an N. Anywhere you see an 11, you put an O. And anywhere you see a 12, you put a T. And the answer, they said, was palm down. The teacher told the student, palm down, you are 2/10. In other words, calm down. It'll be okay. So don't get panicked over your exponents. This is all for your notes. You're going to have a worksheet. Remember your rules. Look at your notes. Look at the wall. If you have questions, come ask me.